Driving home to the shop. Guess who I caught at a red light? Back up.
Are you ready for the fit to kick your ass, man?
Yeah, that fit's got nothing on the taco. Let's see here. Let's pull out this thing in the four-wheel. Some wet road conditions. Stop crying in my ear. I'm green, I'm going for it. Don't forget it's a delayed green. Shifting one-handed. She beat me home. She took a better route. Let's see what she has to say. You what?
I thought you got a flat tire. You were moving so slow. I mean, I got into the house and I was already unlocked before you even got your butt over here. Clear the point that my secret passageway works.
I don't know.
Kicks your butt.
I don't know why it's always more fun to race slow cars than it is fast cars.
Excuse me, I still beat you home though, so
Alright, welcome back to Driveway Party. Somewhere in here there's a car trailer. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing dug out. I'm pretty sure this tire goes flat. Jeez. Well. Oh yeah. Flat. Possibly flat. That one seems okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put some air in the tires and see if I can hook my truck up to it and just yank it on out of here. Alright, I'll try two-wheel drive first. It's been 2 months since I pulled the engine out of this car, Cassie the Camaro, and it is just full with everything I was saving. I have a radiator support, a starter, looks like another starter, a pressure plate, flywheel, my radiator, torque arm, drive shaft, bucket of fittings. I have spark plug wires. The whole car is just filled with crap. This dashboard is comically barely bolted in, as always. Squeaky door hinges. The wiring's a mess. I still have the power steering reservoir and the pump, which is dangling. That whole system is full of oil. So the plan is to cut the frame rails about here. So all this wiring has to be moved. I have fuel lines just dangling about, and I also want to, this was the main battery cable that went down to the starter, so I want to tape all of that off and reconnect the battery switch and basically turn the key on without the engine or the old engine computer, because I'm not sure what electrically is going to work and what will not work, because ideally I'd like to start thinning out some of the wiring on this car, because it was originally an air conditioning car with a sound system. There was a factory amp for all the speakers, and there's just so many wires on this car, airbags and airbag modules. There's so much wiring on this car that doesn't need to be in here, and it gets in the way. Like when something goes wrong and if the car starts to break down or I'm having issues, there's 10 wires and only 2 of them are being used, so trying to find the 2 in the dark on the side of the road is not going to be fun. So simplify everything, and it helps it go faster too. So a little bit less weight. There's no horns on the car anymore. There's so much stuff that can be deleted. So, oh man, I've been procrastinating this, so I just need to do it and suck it up and get it over with. So it's going to be so much nicer when it's done. I can't wait. So it's kind of silly. This was supposed to be my race car, but I made the C10 that was supposed to be the nice cruiser, and the C10 is faster, and the race car is slower, more unreliable, it's ugly, it's got all these issues with it. It totally defeats the purpose. So here's that LS6 Corvette CTSV intake manifold sitting on the 4.8 liter. So once this engine's in, all this stuff that I want to do today will be more difficult. So now's the time to do it. There's no reason I haven't done it. It's just been in the back seat. So, all right. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. I've been making piles of stuff. The small pile here because the T-tops and strut tower brakes have to go back in the car at some point. Took out the passenger seat. I cleaned the car out a whole bunch. And I thought I might try to see if the lights and turn signals and stuff work, so I'm gonna go ahead and try turning the power on. It's funny, my battery switch, watch the dome light. My battery switch has always been backwards, but in order to get onto the racetrack you have to have it labeled, but they never check to see if it's labeled correctly. They just care if there's a label. So I've gotten away with this for like 10 years now. So that's always funny. Silly Camaro stuff, right? I wired this thing when I was in high school still. So let's hope I don't fry something right now and turn the battery key switch on. Hey! Instrument cluster lights up. Wideband lights up. I don't know why it reads 15 to 1 because the engine's not even in. Let's try wipers. Woo. Scratch, scratch. They work. Maybe I'll turn the headlights on. Let's try turn signals. That works. They've only ever worked on the left side. But let me go see if the lights are on. Taillights, check. Headlights should just be the outer ones. Yes, because the inner headlights are the high beams. So I've got marker lights on, headlights on. This bulb I think is broken. Oh, or missing. Alright, cool. So I thought that the body control stuff for all the lights were controlled by the engine computer on these older cars, but I guess since it's 1995 and OBD1 they call it, the computer is separate. So that means, unfortunately, I'm going to have to keep a bunch of this ugly mess unless I want to rewire it, which I do not. So I'm only going to partially hack it now. So, but that's good because this will make it so much easier to get the car back on the road. So next, I think I am going to see if I can hotwire the fuel pump to come on, because the engine computer did in the past control that because it was a setting in the drop down box. So I just put the hose in here in case it decided to turn on when I turn the key on. So I need to figure out a way to jump power to the fuel pump so I can pump all the gasoline out of the tank. Because by the time this thing's ready to run, this fuel is already pretty old. It's February 14th, Valentine's Day right now. And this fuel is, I think, from June of last year. So it'll be a year by the time this car's ready to run. So I figured I'll drain it, and it'll just be that much lighter for pushing it around the shop in the meantime. So I actually have two fuel pumps wired into this car. The second pump is wired into here. It's piggybacked off the first one. So I believe if I put power to this red wire, it should run both pumps. So I don't know if I can get my probe in there while holding the camera. Oh, let me turn the volume off. You guys hear it? Unfortunately, I can't go out and look to see if it's pumping into that tank. Just hold it for a minute and then run out there and check. It shouldn't pump all 5 gallons out that quickly. Alright, let's go check. Well, it's dripping, so wow, that's going very slow. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna sit there and hold that button for a little bit until the fuel tank's drained. I have no idea how much fuel is left in it. Oh, actually, I wonder if the fuel gauge works. Yeah, it's reading 3/4. I think it works. Oh, you know, interesting enough, it's showing no battery voltage, so I guess it gets that signal from the computer. But that would be easy to fix. I'm just happy all the lights work. It's one big project. It took me quite a while on the C10 to wire everything. So a lot of wiring. Alright, I found a way to power up both fuel pumps at the same time. Hopefully you can see the difference. Alright, that was much better. Now we're pumping. Alright guys, I've been sitting in here in the back of the Camaro holding that button for almost 10 minutes now. And I can't help but laugh. The check engine light isn't even on. I should probably check my engine because it's not even in the car. So alright, I made a mess of the shop. Look at this whole dashboard I took out. Underneath, the garbage was full of insulation. I took out the driver's seat. I don't know if I've ever even taken that out. That's not many things I haven't taken apart on this car. So I have the dash out, instrument cluster. I did test all the lights and everything works without the instrument cluster in case I end up going with an aftermarket one or just get like the Holley screen and just make a bracket. Kind of want to do some kind of sheet metal dash just for simplicity to be able to mount things. Maybe I'll do like a fuse box or something, tuck all these wires away. So this is kind of like what I was talking about. Like I have all these electrical connectors that are not being used. They're all over the place. And there's no reason why I can't pull some of the loom back. Like here, there's some back here. I think there's another big one somewhere over here. But there's no reason why they need to be here. They're not being used. It's just weight. It just adds to the confusion. This thing looks like a disaster in here. So, yeah. Maybe trim that back. But the roll cage, I got the call that all the tubing has been pre-bent and is ready to be picked up and notched. So I'm getting antsy to put a roll cage in this thing. I'm really excited. Hopefully it's fast enough to need one. That's the idea anyway. So, wrapping up here today. I might, squeaky door hinge. I might want to just take probably the power steering system off just to reduce this, cut some of the cable ties, just because this radiator support right here is getting cut out. So there's a whole bunch of junk attached to it, so I need to start getting that loosened up so it's easy for Sean to cut off. So that's where we're at. Okay, I took out my power steering pump, disconnected this main harness that goes across here so the booger welds can get cut out. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See you next week. Driveway party.